Hello and thank you for watching. This is SDSC back again with LEGO Transformers 1 Orion Packs. As some of you may know, I already built a TF1 Orion earlier this year. But now that the movie's out and we have plenty of reference material, I decided to take a second shot at the character at a larger scale. More specifically, I decided to build this new version with a 5-wide chest. While it may have been easier to jump up all the way to a 6-wide chest, I liked the extra challenge of keeping the model smaller, and it felt more appropriate for the design. Of his two forms, Truck Mode has considerably less reference material out there, so there may still be some details that aren't quite right here, but I tried my best to follow what we see in the toys and promotional materials. Up front, I've used the edge of a bracket to create the thin center of his windshield, and a pair of roller skate pieces to represent the circular light-like details on his roof. The rest of the front is a little bit of a mess texturally. Due to the way it's constructed with a bunch of rounded plates, I wasn't able to fit in too many details, so he is kinda missing things like his grille. His front fenders are probably the vehicle mode weak point. To accommodate for robot mode articulation, they're a little bigger than they really should be. And similar to the Studio Series figure, his forearms are kinda just hanging out in the back. Although here they do at least fold up slightly. The back of the truck is basically just his legs, but as far as I can tell, that's accurate. One thing I wasn't sure about when looking at the trailer stills was if the truck mode actually features the gray gas tank-like details that are on the sides of Orion's legs. It kinda looks like they're meant to fold away in truck mode, but I wasn't certain and wasn't going to add that extra level of complexity if it wasn't completely necessary. Turning him over, you can see there's no wheels. Trying to have them fold out during transformation at this scale would have posed a massive challenge, so I decided to omit them. That's all there is to say about truck mode, so now it's time to transform. Here we have Orion in his robot mode, and this is definitely my favorite of the two. With YOLO Park releasing their TF1 figures, there was plenty of high quality reference material for this mode, and I tried to prioritize it in the design. The movie model has fairly skinny proportions, and I tried my best to capture that in my build. My version is definitely bulkier, but I think for a transforming LEGO model, I got it decently close. And overall, I think it looks pretty great. The legs were surprisingly tricky for me. I went through a number of iterations trying to capture the vent details he has before settling on this. It's not perfect, all 4 gray strips should be equally spaced and the same height, but I think it's a close enough approximation. I also tried multiple designs to give him more accurate grille details on his hips. Unfortunately, everything I tried resulted in major stability issues or broke the transformation, and ultimately I decided the solidity of the figure's hip joints was more important than that detail. Like in truck mode, his shoulders may be a little too large, but that's in service of giving him proper articulation. I had tried some designs that would have given them a 2x2 footprint, but it left him with little to no outward shoulder movement, and I decided proper arm articulation was more important. The truck grille and bumper fold away, leaving the windscreen as his chest. The whole red section of the torso may be a little too tall compared to the on-screen design, but that's just a limitation of the transformation. Honestly, I really like the way the curved slopes look on the bottom of his pecs, even if the extra thickness it adds isn't entirely accurate. His head was fun to design and abuses the snot abilities of the roller skate piece. There's 2 skates used in the core of the build, allowing for all the different directions of building. I think the end result looks great and captures the design well. Turning him around, he does have a tiny bit of a backpack, as the sides of the cab fold backwards and kinda just hang off his back, unfortunately. While on paper this is a fairly simple design, I had a surprisingly difficult time translating it to LEGO. It took several revisions before I could get everything to work the way I wanted, and the process was not quick. But I think all that effort was worth it, and the model ended up great. He's fairly accurate to the animation, and the ways in which he's not accurate don't feel like downgrades to me. He's just a really nice looking bot with a quick transformation and plenty of articulation. But that's all I have for now, so I'll see you next time.